Okay, what if I told you that two simple words could completely change your relationships, slash your stress levels, and just give you back your peace of mind? Well, today, we're diving into a theory from author Mel Robbins that promises to do exactly that. It's called the let them theory.
I mean, does that question ring a bell? We spend so much of our lives trying to manage what other people do, what they think, how they feel. And let's be honest, it is absolutely exhausting. But what if you could just stop?
So this brings us to what we can call the control trap. See, it's this belief we have, usually one we don't even know we have, that if we just say the right thing or try hard enough, we can actually control other people. And in trying to do that, we end up giving away all our power.
And that's the loop, right? You bend over backward, you try to make everyone happy, you're constantly managing their moods, all because you think that's the path to peace. But it's not. It's a trap. The more you try to control everyone else, the more out of control and powerless you feel.
So where did this game-changing idea even come from? Well, you might be surprised. The story doesn't start in some psychology lab or a philosophy class. It starts in the middle of a super chaotic high school prom night. So picture this. Mel Robbins' son, Oakley, decides he's going to go to prom at the absolute last minute. It is a total mad dash for a tuxedo, shoes, a date, the whole thing. And Mel, like, a lot of parents would be, is feeling all the stress of trying to make everything just perfect.
And the whole thing comes to a head over something so small, a corsage. Mel brings one, even though her son told her not to. He's totally embarrassed, his date is feeling awkward, and Mel is there trying to manage the whole situation, which, of course, is just making it a million times more tense.
And this is the moment. The kids are about to head to this tiny little taco place for dinner, in a downpour, by the way, and Mel starts trying to fix it. And that's when her daughter, Kendall, just grabs her arm and says these two life-changing words, "Let them."
And she said the effect was instant. All that tension just poof, melted away. That obsessive need to control the outcome, to make it perfect, it just vanished. She had this realization, wait a minute, this is their prom, not hers.
So out of that one tiny, stressful moment, this incredibly powerful tool was born. So let's really break down what the Let Them theory is and, more importantly, how it works to give you your energy back.
At its very core, the Let Them theory is about freedom. It's basically giving yourself permission to let people be who they are. Let them make their own decisions, even if you don't agree with them. Let them think whatever they want to think. Why? Because every single second you spend trying to control them is a second you are not spending on you.
Okay, that's all well and good for a prom corsage, right? But what about when letting them really stings, when it feels like rejection? Mel tells this other story about seeing photos of her friends on a trip that she wasn't invited to. And that feeling of being left out, man, that is real.
And yeah, that's our gut reaction, isn't it? When someone leaves us out, it's like our side of the seesaw just slams into the ground. We suddenly feel small, insecure, less than. We've just handed them all the power.
Now when you say let them, it's like this little mental trick. You push your side of the seesaw off the ground and you lift yourself up. It creates this emotional distance. You feel a little detached, maybe even a little bit above it all. But, and this is a huge but, be really careful because this is only half the story.
Let them is just the first part of the puzzle. This next piece is where the real, lasting transformation happens. It's not just about what they do, it's about what you do next.
And listen, this is a super important warning. If you just stop at let them, you risk becoming kind of bitter and isolated and judgmental. It's not supposed to be a tool to shut people out. It's a tool to take your power back in a way that actually helps you.
So here it is, the whole theory in two dead simple steps. First, you release your need for control with let them. And then you reclaim your own control with let me. It's this incredibly powerful 1-2 punch for handling pretty much any situation with another person.
And this is the real game changer. Let me is the power move. It forces you to stop obsessing over them and to turn that focus back to the one and only person you can actually control, yourself. It is all about taking personal responsibility for your own life. And this is what brings that seesaw back to level. It's not about feeling superior or inferior anymore. Let me is all about acceptance and even compassion. It lets you give other people the grace to live their lives. And then it reminds you to give yourself that same grace too.
So let's go back to that friends trip. Instead of just sitting there stewing in let them go without me, let me flips the script. it makes you ask the real questions. Let me be honest with myself. Have I really been making an effort lately? Or, you know what? Let me take responsibility for my own social life. You see how that shifts all the energy away from blame and puts it right back into action? And when you start doing this consistently, you step into what Mel Robbins calls your let me era. It's just a totally new and empowered way of moving through the world.
Just look at the difference here. You go from wasting all your energy on other people to focusing that energy back on yourself. You stop blaming them and you start taking responsibility. You go from feeling powerless to feeling like you're actually in control of your own life. You're no longer just waiting around for an invitation. You are out there creating the life you want.
I want you to let that sink in for a second. This is so much bigger than just feeling a little better in the moment. It is a fundamental shift in where you put your energy and how you define your own happiness. It's saying, my waiting for other people days are over.
So I'll leave you with this question to really think about. What is one situation, one person, one little annoyance that you are going to let them be this week so that you can finally let me, whatever it is you need to do for your own peace and your own progress? Give that some thought. Thanks for joining me.